Hi all, this is Kishore Kumar again from eLearning Port. Today we are going to discuss about array and linked list in data structure concept. So we'll start with array and linked list definition, a basic definition. Then we'll start differentiating between array, what is array and what is linked list. Then we'll also try to differentiate by giving examples. In what scenario we need to go for, we need to go for array, and in what scenario we need to go for linked list. Because if I say that in all the scenario array will be perfect, then that's also not correct. In some scenario we use array, in some scenario we use linked list. So we are going to talk about that. So the prerequisite will be like you must be knowing array and linked list, at least the basics, so that I can go in depth of that is what's happening. So let's start with that. So we are going to discuss array versus linked list. So as per definition of array, you must be knowing that array is something which occupies contiguous memory location. So contiguous allocation. So I will just give you some basic hints that what is array. If you don't remember, so that you will remember by giving the hints. So first point is like contiguous memory allocation. Second point is that it is index based. That means any array element can be accessed only by using the index. Okay, so array also will be there multiple dimensional, but here we will be talking about only single dimensional. We will be talking about only single dimensional array. Okay, now so these are the basic bullet points for the array. So let's see how this array looks like when we allocate memories means using any programming language in our memory. So first we will discuss about that memory structure, then we'll discuss about the linked list and linked list memory structure, then only we can differentiate what are those. Okay, so now, so these are the bullet points. I hope this makes very clear, and I hope you guys are reminding like what is array by seeing like these bullet points. Okay. So we'll talk about array, how array actually occupies memory in our OS using any programming language. So here I'm not going to make any specific programming language example. This is a kind of general data structure example that I'm going to give. So don't relate it to any specific programming language. This can be this can be developed using any programming language. So I'm just going with a normal means language, means human language, you can say. Okay, so array. So when we talk about array, we always tell that this is contiguous memory location. Suppose this is our memory grid. Okay, so suppose the memory is like okay, memory is like this grid. So suppose this is a memory structure, means these all blocks will be a kind of memory block. Memory block. So how array behaves? When we allocate array, if suppose we are allocating array of size 2, then what happens? If suppose array of size 2, if you are trying to allocate that, what happens, this will come and check in the memory grid if we have two contiguous memory locations available. As for example, you can see here, suppose this is, I have made it of two. Suppose this is the first grid, 0 and 1. So just to make it significant, A1, A2. A1, A2 means for array, A1 memory location, A2 memory location. So this is a contiguous memory location. It was found. So it is successfully allocating the memory. If suppose I have something like some data will be filled, like, so I'll give some data. C1, C2, C3. So the memory is like, if suppose this is memory number 1, memory number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on. Okay. So suppose this memory is occupied by C3, C4, C5. Now again D1, D2, D3, E1, E2, somewhere like if some variable G, H, I, J, K, 1, K2, K3. Okay, so these all memories are allocated. How many memories are free? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 memory locations are free right now. So if, what will happen if I am trying to allocate array of 10 size? Will it be allocated? No. Memory cannot be allocated because array says, as per definition, and as per behavior, array says that I need contiguous memory locations. That means contiguous memory locations to occupy. So when I'm asking 10, I have 10 size, then also I'm not able to occupy. Why? Because array requires contiguous. If suppose I'm going to allocate here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, only 5 can be allocated, but how much I need? 10. So 10 cannot be allocated. That's why this is the, like in array case we cannot allocate just because of the memory constraints. If suppose this many memory is only there, so in this way any array is allocated. So C is also representing one array where size is of 5. So it has allocated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So in this way memory is occupied by array. So this is all about the basic of array. Let's talk about linked list. Okay, so let's talk about linked list. When we compare to array, simple. So array we say contiguous memory location. So for linked list you can say a scattered memory location. That means linked list doesn't require contiguous one. So first thing is that. Second, now again I will give some bullet points for the linked list so that if you have forgotten, you will just remind it or remember it. Okay, a scattered memory I can say. Second thing I can say node based. Node based means you must be remembering that there will be one node. So here we will be talking about singly linked list, not the other type of linked list, where this will be data and this is pointer to next memory location. Okay, pointer to next memory. So just to remind you, so there will be a node where the node will be comprising of, means node will be containing two fields, two kind of data. First is like data, whatever data you want to store. So this can be of any type, whatever type you want to define. And then there will be a pointer. Pointer means to say a memory container. You can say here this one, memory location container. That means, so this is one node, so there can be one more node where again there will be data and pointer to the next memory location. So if suppose this memory location is something 10 to 4, so when I'm saying that this is a memory location container or pointer, so I can say that this will be storing 1024, and virtually we can point it like this one, that there will be a data. If suppose this list we are calling it head, then head next will be another node where the data will be stored with another memory location. If suppose you don't have another linked list data, what this will point, this will point to null. I guess null is very clear to you, because null means nothing, there is nothing, just it's the last one, I can say that. Okay, so this is linked list. This is just I was trying to refresh your memory. So this is the linked list. Now let's see how this linked list is stored in memory. Okay, though, so we'll again create the same kind of memory grid. Okay, the same kind of memory grid where the memory locations number will be 1 2 3 4 5 6. Guys, don't take this 1 2 3 4 is the actual memory location and just giving a reference with the number. So this memory locations can be like 10 to 4, 10 to 5. So each memory block is representing a single byte. One byte, or we don't go with the byte because you might be getting confused. Don't go with the byte. Just remember that this is a memory block again. Which will contain data. Each memory block will contain one data. So in the same way, just I will make some examples of BG and free memory blocks. So suppose this one is BG, C, D, G, I, J, K, L, M. So these all are the BG memory blocks. Now the free will be 1 2 3 4 5 6, and I want to store at least 6 data, at least 5 data, but as you can see there is no 5 continuous memory free. So what we can do, we can take help of linked list. So here we can store something like suppose linked list is L. Here L represents to linked list. So suppose L1 is the data. Now I want to store one more data in the linked list. What I can do, I can make it L2, and then this one can point to this one. How? So I told you this is a kind of memory block. So I can say that here we are storing one node. So if suppose in L1 we are storing 10, and then we are saying that Next, memory location. So what is the memory location number? 4. So we are pointing to fourth memory location, where now virtually I have pointed it like this, L2. Now again, this one is also free. If I want to store L3 data, L3, that means this L2 is pointing to this L3. How? Again, the same way. 20, and what is the memory location? 5. So in this, what we are doing, we are just trying to use the memory location which are free, and we are not restricting anything for the contiguous memory location. That means a scattered memory. One data can be stored here, one data can be stored here, one data can be stored here. So it's like we are not bothering about where is the continuous memory location. If I have even single memory location, I can create linked list and I can store at least one data. And if I have to store multiple data and those memories are free at some scattered location, we can use that. So I can say that it is a kind of utilizing memory. What we are doing? We are utilizing memory. Now, so this is the actual storage structure of linked list, and you saw that in array we store in contiguous memory locations. Okay. Now, depending upon this memory structure, we are going to differentiate the array and linked list, how they are getting stored and what we can make use of. So just remember this memory structure, because all our examples will be based on this memory structures. Okay. Now let me clear the board. Now we will be making some point of array and linked list. Okay. Now we will start differentiating this array and linked list. After differentiation, we will go through the live examples. In what case we need to use array, in what case we need to use linked list. So for array, contiguous memory. For linked list, scattered memory. I just now I explained in the examples, not examples in the definitions. Okay. Now element retrieval is faster here, slower compared to array. Now this might be confusing you, how the array is taking faster, how element can be read very fast in very fast manner, how in linked list it is not read in very fast manner. So I'll just give you one example. Okay. Suppose array of 5, array will refer as A1, A1, A2, A3, A4, A5. There are 5 elements of this array. Now, if suppose integer, if we talk about integer, int data type, in Java it takes 4 bytes. In C, I think it takes 2 bytes. Okay. Now, if suppose this memory number is 10 to 4, and if we are considering Java, so definitely the next element is stored. So 10 to 4 is the first memory location. So now 4 bytes. That means the next memory location is 10 to 8, and the next memory location is 1032. Okay, 1032. Okay. So if I want to fetch the element third, that means if I want to fetch a of 3, which is ultimately called, if we calculate index from 0 then 2. So what will happen? From here 10 to 4, the first element address is 10 to 4. Then definitely the third element address is how much? We will just add. So I want to iterate to the third element. So from first I'll just add the 2, means not 2, the 1, because from zeroth location, I want to go to 2. So what I can do, 10 to 4 plus 4, that means there will be second element is located at 10 to 8, and then definitely 10 to 8 plus 4 is 1032, which is the third memory location from where I want to fetch the data. So from here only what I will do, 10 to 4 plus 8, 1032. So here's my memory. So mathematical operation, just I did the mathematical operation, I found the memory location. Okay, this is the memory location. From here I need to fetch the data. So this is the example of array. But if you take example of linked list, I'll just use the same. Just a second. Linked list. Okay. If suppose this is L1, the first element, in suppose the second element, if suppose the third element is here, all are, just assume all other memory locations are busy. Okay. Now if I want to fetch the linked list third element, what I need to do? First I will come here, where first element is data, second is memory. First I will come here, then I will have to locate the next memory location. Now I'll have to go to the next memory here, L2. Then after that I need to go to L3. So you can say, like from L1 we cannot calculate at all where is the next memory location. We will have to, from L1 to, we will have to visit to the next element. Then from that we have to visit to the next element L3. So you can see in array we just calculated on the mathematical, doing some addition, and we got the third element. But here I will have to first come to this one, then I will have to come to this one. So I'm iterating in a way like I cannot calculate the exact memory location of the third element of the linked list. That's why this is slower, linked list is slower and array is faster. Okay. I hope you guys understood this example. So now we'll go to the next thing. Indexed, or I can say index based retrieval. Again, you just saw example that I need a of 3, just I had to pass the third element. If you want to visit the third element in linked list, you will have to do sequential iteration, or you can say like traversal. So I have to traverse to that particular element, then only I can find out. Now, in array, in any programming language, if you're going to use array, you need to tell the programming language that how many elements we are going to store in that array. If you're not declaring that how many elements you are going to store in the array, definitely that array is not going to be initialized or not going to be used. So you can say that finite number of data. Finite means you can say limited number of data, because you need to declare how many elements I want to store. Here, no need to specify the size. That means in array you need to specify the size at the time of initialization, because you need to use the array, you need to tell how many elements I'm going to store in that array. And linked list can be in this way. So I can say that array is a kind of fixed element and linked list is a kind of dynamic element. Means you need more. If you have memory locations free in your OS, then go and use that. You don't need to specify the size, the limit of that particular linked list. Okay, so I can count this many. There are so many, means not so many, there are few more examples that I will leave up to you. You need to find out what are the more differences in this one, and you can comment in my YouTube video with your examples or with your points, what are points you think out of this. Okay, so this is the difference. Oh shit, I deleted it. Array uses linked list uses. Okay. Now we'll see in what scenario we need to use linked list, in what scenario we need to use array. So I'll give you one example. If suppose you know how many data you are going to store in the memory, if suppose you know you can store only 100, max to max 100 elements, and minimum of 10-50 elements you want to store. So you know the size, that how many elements I'm going to store max to max in the array. What you can do, you can directly declare the array with the size of 100. Why? Because you know that 100 elements can be stored only. Okay, so in the current scenario we generally least bother about the memory consumption, but we are most bothered about the performance. Means how is the performance. So you know that array is faster and linked list is slower in terms of iteration. Remember, in terms of iteration, in terms of getting a data, in terms of storing a data at the last index, not modification. Okay, so in that case, if you have, you know that you can store max to max 100, and performance is very much required for fetching. So you need to fetch the data frequently. Then we can go with the array. But if you know that, means you're not sure that how many memory can be consumed and how many data will be there, then what you need to do, you need to go with the linked list, because in linked list you don't need to define the size. As long as memory is available there, you can use that memory and you can store a data in linked list. Okay, so that is the like uses of linked list and uses of array. So I think this is more than enough as for now. So we will come up with next videos by explaining more and more about this, if we have few more examples, and I will also try to take you through a programming example using Java. So because I'm a Java expert, not other programming language. I know other programming languages, but I can do more in Java. So I can give you walk you through the Java examples. So for that time, I think we are done. So thank you for watching the video. Please like and subscribe, and please comment whatever point you have about the things whatever I explained you. If you have some extra point, please comment in that. We'll try to include that as well in our further videos. Okay, thank you guys, thank you very much.